Coming up tonight on Business Live, employers warn of inadequate space to accommodate graduates from tertiary institutions as the current economic situation has impacted negatively on expansion.
We need to ensure that if really we want to ensure that businesses are able to stand on their feet and compete and also employ, then we need to look at the cost of borrowing, which is very, very, very important.
Is there an opportunity for entrepreneurs? We are live with the Ghana Chamber of Young Entrepreneurs. Also, Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority set to reduce timeline for clearance of goods at the ports by a percentage. We will hear from the Commissioner, Idrisu Seidu.
High cost of doing business in Ghana as compared to other countries. It is because of the delays. For instance, if you bring your goods and you can clear the goods within a day or two, I mean, the mortgage and other costs involved in storing the goods at the port will be reduced.
Railway line for passenger trains from Tema to Juapon ready for use as new trains arrive by end of this month.
And the end point of the train right now is the Tema and the Juapon station. So it's either the train will start from Juapon and end at Tema, and also start from Tema and end at Juapon.
These and many more in the next 30 minutes with me, Emma Davis. You'd like to stay? Welcome. We don't have the space to accommodate graduates from our tertiary institutions. That's the warning from employers following the Ghana Statistical Service findings that more graduates and persons with higher qualifications are struggling to find jobs. Some have attributed it to businesses not prepared to meet the salary demands of these graduates. But Chief Executive of the Ghana Employers Association, Alex Frimpong, tells Joy Business most firms are struggling to employ these graduates.
Of borrowing, it is still very high. It is still very high because you need to have working capital, you need to be able to procure the latest technology, equipment, and it costs a lot of money to be able to do that. So we need to ensure that if really we want to ensure that businesses are able to stand on their feet and compete and also employ, then we need to look at the cost of borrowing, which is very, very, very important. Then we may also have to look at how we can reduce, if not control, the influx of shoddy goods, shoddy products and counterfeits into the country. I can assure you that we have a lot of Ghanaian entrepreneurs who can compete and compete favorably. But if we are not able to control the influx of shoddy goods, counterfeit products into the country, it's going to create a lot of problems for us, because definitely the cost of doing business in Ghana or the cost of producing these products relatively higher compared to the ones coming from Europe and Asia. So that's a major issue. Even utilities, the cost of running electricity, water in a business concern in Ghana is relatively very high. And not to talk about the fees, charges, levies by other agencies, even apart from corporate tax. Assemblies, we talk about hotels, there are a lot of taxes. If you talk about the tourist industry, a myriad of taxes, and so many of them. So altogether, you realize that if we are not able to handle the cost of production and also how we are able to use the cost of borrowing, inflation, the forex issues, then we'll be in a challenge. But if we're able to overcome these challenges, I'm sure businesses will be able to step up.
Let's explore this assertion by the Employers Association further. Joining us via Zoom is the Chief Executive of the Ghana Chamber of Young Entrepreneurs, Sharif Gali. Thank you very much for joining us. What do you make of these revelations coming from the Employers Association that there is no space to accommodate graduates from our tertiary institutions?
All right. Thank you and good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, so this is not so much as of a news because we've been talking about this, and then we've been warning government and all the players in the entrepreneurship ecosystem in Ghana with respect to this issue, especially when it comes to youth unemployment among the Ghanaian graduates. So it's not a new thing. It's however disheartening to see the numbers increasing, and we all have to come together. When it comes to youth unemployment, it's not only the government, but it's all of us in the development ecosystem. I'm talking about the government, the academia, and even the private sector. So, like he mentioned, businesses are not able to expand, and that is why they are not employing. So, what can we do? That is what we should be looking at. Yep.
Do you then think that this issue rather provides an opportunity for graduates to consider being entrepreneurial?
Exactly. The finance minister once said that every young person to go and do business, media, all of you picked it up and we're talking about it, saying that not everyone can become an entrepreneur. But at this very moment, we need to really prioritize youth entrepreneurship. If you are in school and you are watching Joy today as a tertiary graduate, don't be too happy thinking that you are studying psychology, you are studying IT and all of those big programs. At the end of the day, you would get a job. It is not easy in the market. People are not getting jobs. Even the government is not employing. The public sector is not employing. So this is a time that our youth, our young people are supposed to start thinking entrepreneurial. And this is the time government will have to be deliberate about supporting the young persons to set up businesses. We keep saying this, but they were not seeing it. Now we have seen it. Statistics have shown that the youth unemployment is growing, and it's something that if we don't do something about, imagine over millions of young people wake up one day and there's nothing for them. They have no food to eat. What do you think they will do? They will turn against, our own people. So for the young people and for all of us to work together from the academia, we need to start training our young people to be entrepreneurial. Support programs that can build their knowledge, that can change their mindset from looking for white-collar jobs to be job creators and not job seekers. And government will have to be deliberate. The young people, when we tell them to become entrepreneurs, one thing they ask is that, where do I get the startup capital? There is no startup capital. Yes, we want them to become entrepreneurs, but there is no startup capital. And it's only government and the private sector that can come together and provide the startup capital. How then do we do that? At the end of the day, it's a collective partnership we need to create. So to your question, yes, every young person who is in the university, we know not everybody is born to be an entrepreneur, but everybody is born to try something, and everybody can also be an entrepreneur if you want to be. This is the time for us to start thinking entrepreneurial. Get yourself, attend all the conferences that you can get and learn much about becoming an entrepreneur. Go and do internship with companies so that you can learn from them. This is the time, and we must encourage all. And our academia is very important to me, if I have time to mention it. You see, we have curriculum and strategies and programs that were designed during Kwame Nkrumah time. And I can tell you that we still are running our educational institutions with this curriculum. The question is that, what are we training? Now, our economy has evolved. AI has come. Technology is there. We still have old systems, and our very own academia is very slow in adopting innovation and change. And that has been one of our biggest issues. So you churn out young people who go and study psychology and comes and there's no even work related to psychology. So what do? We need to be training these young people how to become entrepreneurs. And that's why for the Ghana Chamber of Young Entrepreneurs, we try to change the mindset of the young people, give them the needed support they need so they can do business.
You mentioned that government should provide some startup capital. In your view, what other role do you think governments can play in ensuring that young entrepreneurs are supported with all the resources needed?
So the other area is the ease of doing business. We need to put in policies that will allow young people to be able to do businesses freely. In Ghana, when a young person starts a business, say a business in any of the agri-based value chain. So for example, they want to process shea butter, add value and sell it in the market. You can imagine the whole structure they need to go through now, registering their business at Register of Companies, getting their product standardized by GSA, and possibly getting the product certified or registered by FDA. And all of these are cumbersome process that a young person will just even give up trying to get such a product out. It's not that the young people are not innovative, they are innovative, but the policies, the bureaucracies, and then the unfavorable conditions are what is pulling them down. Thirdly, what government can do is that support the creation of incubation hubs. When we talk about incubation hubs, they are very important for ecosystem development. We have few of them locally or privately owned. Can government come out boldly and support this incubation hub? What the incubation hubs will do is that they will serve as a haven where young people can go and be trained as to how to really set up sustainable businesses and get all the needed tools that they need to be able to operate businesses that will be sustainable. Then the last thing government can do is to support the academia, support programs that are entrepreneurial. So if any school like Ashasi and all the rest that are doing entrepreneurial program, if government is really supporting them, I am telling you that other universities the next year is going to follow suit. All of them will go through that or want to copy what they are doing, that government is funding them. And that is what the government can do to support entrepreneurship among the young people.
Sharif, this brings me to my next question. What has become of the startup bill? You know, we know that this was supposed to help entrepreneurs in a way. What has happened to it?
That's a very important question at this moment. So the startup bill was supposed to be, or let me say, it's supposed to be one of the tools that we use to help our Ghanaian young people become entrepreneurs and run sustainable business. We have been working with the Ministry of Communication for some time now, and as I speak to you now, is on the decks of the ministry, and the ministry, to be honest with you, is very passionate about getting the bill passed this year. Hopefully, when we get the bill passed, some of these issues will be solved. We are not saying we're going to solve all of them, but the bill is actually going to solve a lot of this because it's going to encourage young people starting business, going to provide incentive frameworks. For example, a young person who started a business under the Ghana Startup and Innovation Bill will receive what we call support to hire talent. So they will pay, the agency will pay their staff to work for them for maybe 3 years, and then the startup or the young person can take over the liability of paying their workers after 3 years, and so many other incentives. And this is what we needed because we have so much fragmented policies run by different government agencies that do not really have focus on startups and the young people. But if we get the Ghana Startup Bill passed, and I can promise you that this will really influence our ecosystem and propel it to some positive gains as a people. So yes, we are hoping that by end of, before maybe mid this year, the bill will be put through cabinet to parliament, and let's see what holds of it. But we are optimistic that we'll get the bill passed this year.
Thank you very much, Sharif. Sharif Gali is the CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Young Entrepreneurs. Moving on, the Commissioner of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Alhaji Idrisu Idisa Seidu, says his outfit is working to reduce the time it takes to clear goods at the port by an average of 50%. According to him, the lack of coordination among the agencies involved in the clearance process increases the cost of doing business at the ports. He spoke in an interview with Joy Business at the launch of the time release report by GRA in Accra.
Time release study shows that the average time for berthing of a vessel at the Tema port to the physical release of imported goods is 10 days, 21 hours and 17 minutes. These potential delays at the port could be attributed to a lack of coordination among the agencies involved in the clearance process. In an interview with Joy Business, the Commissioner of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Alhaji Idrisu Idisa Seidu, says they intend to reduce the time clearance of goods by 50% across all the ports and borders.
We are looking at a benchmark of 50% of what we have found currently within the next 2 years. In fact, the time release study is not supposed to be done once, but this is our first one. But we intend to carry on more time release, maybe after some time, to see whether we have made progress or things have remained the same. So when we talk of 50%, it depends on the particular border and what we found in a study what we want to do. But our intention is to make sure that we least, if we don't achieve anything, it should be at least 50% of what we should reduce there. I mean, the fact that you are doing it fast doesn't mean that you will lower some of the standards. There are, I mean, we are in a technical, I mean, everyday technology is improving, and there are areas that we can use to make sure that, yes, you clear the goods early, but we're still able to know what is inside and what we are doing. So it will improve revenue performance. It will help the traders themselves in clearing their goods early.
Commissioner Alhaji Seidu further says reducing delays at the port will ease the cost of doing business.
You always hear the trade associations and traders complaining of the higher cost of doing business in Ghana as compared to other countries. It is because of the delays. For instance, if you bring your goods and you can clear the goods within a day or two, I mean, the mortgage and other costs involved in storing the goods at the port will be reduced. And that will, be a plus to the importer and reduce his cost of doing business. Sometimes when you load the goods into a vehicle and the vehicle is waiting for days, the lorry driver, the owner of the car or the driver will be charging you for each day. Meanwhile, when you are able to clear it faster, he releases your goods to you, and and he goes for a new consignment, and you are also, your cost of doing business has been cut down. So it has a lot of. That's why I said it has a benefit to everybody involved in the clearance procedures.
The time release report has shown that increased import efficiency is crucial for successfully integrating nations with cross-border trading.
Still watching Business Live with me, Emma Davis. We'll take a breather. We'll be back with more. Welcome. Thanks for staying. Part of the 97-kilometer railway line from Tema, where trains carrying passengers are expected to end their journey in ready to be used, according to the Ghana Railway Development Authority. After a short media tour on the entire line, which stretches from Tema to Mpakadan, few works are still ongoing along the landing site for the freight train, which will carry cargo from Tema to Akosombo, Dupe, or Burkina Faso and environs. Here's more.
Tema Mpakadan railway line is part of a project aimed at connecting Ghana with other West African countries to ease trading. After more than 2 years of intense construction work, it appears the 97-kilometer railway is almost ready for use. According to the Ghana Railway Development Authority, the endpoint for passengers from Tema to Djuapong is complete. It is expecting new trains will arrive at the end of March. Anama Opoku is Assistant Manager, Corporate Affairs at the Ghana Railway Development Authority.
When the train comes, it's going to be mainly on the Tema to Djuapong, because the train we are expecting is passenger train. It is not the freight train, it's passenger train. So the beginning and the end point of the train right now is the Tema and the Djuapong station. So it's either the train will start from Djuapong and end at Tema, and also start from Tema and end at Djuapong.
So when you say 98%, the 2%, what type of work, which work and which work are we? Describe it for us.
Okay, so the 2% is minor works that we have to do, especially at the Tema railhead. Because, especially at the Mpakadan railhead, because that place is basically for freight. And we have to make sure that we finish everything there. And then when the freight trains come in, the freight can also use its line. Right now, for the passenger train, everything concerning the passenger train and the truck that will carry the passengers is 98% complete.
Speaking on the impact of the railway lines on haulage and road transport, Assistant Manager Yusuf Tahiru Adams noted that pressure on the roads will be eased.
All know that the railway sector was one of the biggest sector in Ghana in those days, but gradually the lines deteriorated, and that there's a need for government due to the importance that we can derive from the railway sector. Government has come up to revamp the rail sector, and that is the product we are seeing now. We took you to the railhead where the train will take the goods from Tema Harbour and then offload it at the railhead, and then other pontoon or anything that can carry the goods on the river to Bupe will also offload it there. So that trucks that have been using our road Kumasi to Accra, we all know the issues with that. Accidents, destroying our roads, all those things will stop.
The 97-kilometer Tema-Impakedan Railway project is the longest standard gauge railway line constructed in Ghana since independence.
Traders of locally crafted beads are lamenting slow patronage of their goods. Today on the Joy Business shopping list, the team visited Osu to gauge the prices of beads as we celebrate Ghana Month.
Welcome to another edition of the Joy Business shopping list. Today we put our focus on locally crafted beads. Now we know beads are accessories that some people in Ghana wear to occasions such as funerals, weddings and other occasions. So today as we enter the Ghana month, we are here in Osu to gauge the prices of beads on the market.
We have the Kente one, and also we have the local bead, like this one. It's the local bead. It's for like, they were saying that in the olden days, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, they use it for like, maybe they are going for a funeral or they are going for like occasions, like maybe they are going for wedding, or they can use it for marriage. Let's say if someone is about to marry, they can use it.
So how much does that cost?
So this one is cost 200 cedis. That was last year December. It was 50 cedis. But now if you go to market, we always go to the wholesale. But now they've increased the price, so we have to increase our prices. So now it's 100 cedis for one, like sets. It's 100 cedis one.
Do the prices differ with regards to the designs and the colors?
No, if it is big or small, it's the same price.
I see some other different types here. Can you take us through them?
Like this one. This one, yes, it's for the ladies. You wear it, and this one is the athletes. Yes, and this one, the price is different from this one. This one is 150. You can sew like a fabric and wear it with this one to attach to this one. Yes, and this one too, it has the meaning. It's the meaning is opposite like this one. Yes, this one is like the way is the form of waist bead, but they use the waist bead to make it like this. Maybe if someone doesn't want the waist bead, but he wants it like a form like this, then we can make it for the person. Yes, please. But this one is not expensive. One is 5 cedis. It's not expensive.
Has the price of this one always been 5 cedis?
No, that was somewhere December. It was 2 cedis. Then now we've increased it. We've increased 3 cedis, so it's now 5 cedis.
So generally, tell us how patronage has been. We know in December you record an increase in sales because there are a lot of tourists who come to Ghana. But we are in March. We are going into March. How is sales?
Now let's say in this February the sales is not good because the markets. People, they like, maybe they want to buy things, but because of the price, they can't buy it. So we are praying that maybe this month of March, maybe we can get some the things lower so that they can come and buy some for us.
Okay, the beat we have here, we have Crystal. This one is Crystal. That one is 50 cedi. And we have different type of beats like this. Because Ganesh, that one is 70 cedi. And we have another one, we call it Sugar. That's beast, that's sugar beast. And so it depends on what you want.
A few months ago, how much were you selling this for?
35 cedi.
Why has it increased then?
It depends on who bring it to us. Yeah. So when the person increases, me too I will increase it. This one is a wooden one. Now everybody sell one is 10 cedi, and we have 15 cedi and a 20. It depends on what you want. We have a big size and small size. The small size can get it 10 cedi, the medium you can get 15 cedi, and the big one can get 20 cedi.
So if this was 10 cedi, if this is 10 cedis now, how much was it a few months ago?
Now you sell like 8 cedi or 7 cedi, depend.
Well, happy Ghana month. That'll be all for Business Live. My name is Emma Davis. For more business news, do log on to myjoyonline.com and we have some great stories there. In our headlines, we don't have space to accommodate graduates from tertiary institutions. Ghana Employers Association. Ghana is losing competitiveness in West Africa due to rising cost of doing business. That's according to AGI. Do visit the portal and be updated. That'll be all for tonight. Good night.